回もボロボロじゃないか。まったく君は。
おー、ヨロハ、目覚めたのか。アレクもろくに動けねえし、ここまで運ぶの大変だったぜ。なあ、潔癖症。
そうね。クラシア部屋にいたの？いたわ。
想像しいな。
What's good, anime enthusiasts? We have the final episode, the finale to the Banished Court Magician aims to become the strongest. And I gotta say, I'm a little sad. One, because it's ending, and two, because we don't get like a final cool fight scene. We got it last episode, the second to last episode, episode 11. By the way, if you do hear like a lot of pop sounds, there's some fireworks going on. It's, you know, the new year and whatnot. So apologies for that. But we grind and we're back. We are going off. Anyway, it does not matter. We're on that grind. Let's continue on. Sorry for the distraction. But a little disappointed we don't get like a final cool fight scene for the last episode. But in exchange for that, we get a lot of exposition and a lot of setup for potentially a season 2 and a lot more to look forward to for Alec and his friends and the next leg of the adventure into becoming the strongest. So without any further pauses from the fireworks that are going off or anything else, let's get through with this and see what I finally think at the end of it. So the episode begins. Melea finally fully surrenders and he offers up the dungeon core to lasting period. They won, and Yorha starts to tell the other party members about Eden because she was told about Eden from Melea, but Melea didn't tell anybody else. And she talks about Eden, the land where the wishes of man is granted, and Melea starts talking about like the cores have a will of their own, and not only a select few can hear the voice, those being the seekers, the chosen ones. And those cores contain Adam's will, the path of Eden. Now, pause for a second. It sounds so crazy and out of nowhere, but hey, let's just say I do like the Japanese culture and how they portray some of the things that Americans believe in, like Christianity, like the apple of the tree of knowledge, the apple, Eden, Adam, Eve, all that good stuff in anime form. Just a little side tangent. I think that's really cool. You know, we don't see a lot of stuff as far as on the Western side from the American side. But anyway, that's a nice little tangent. Anyway, Olivia just gets mad because she wants answers on what happened to her mother. And Alec, you know, gets mad on her behalf as well. It's like, yeah, why aren't you giving Olivia answers? Like, you promised to, you know, tell her what's up after you lost. And Melea goes, well, you ever heard of something called dungeon syndrome? Crochet was like, yeah, it's a disease where the dungeon's power turns people into monsters. It's difficult to heal, but there are ways to suppress it. Now, this is where Melea starts down sort of his backstory, but it's also recalling the past and how all of this will connect to Olivia's mother. So, of course, Melea was with Olivia's mother in a party. Everything's cool, everything was kosher, they were good friends, and they were nice. Until, on one dungeon run, Olivia's mother turned into a monster. And then Olivia's mother was like, my wish, my wish. And Melea granted a wish. He answered the call. And he granted a mercy kill for Olivia's mother. Then he starts reminiscing on how he was teaching Olivia, how afterwards he took Olivia in and trained her up. And as time went on, you know, helping out Olivia, the way that Olivia talked, it started to terrify Melea. It started to remind him of Olivia's mother. The more she grew up, the more she started to look like her mother, and this dark doubt started to well up and seep into Melea. And he started having this like mental state of like Olivia's mom is like corrupting him, is whispering like evil, dark doubts and thoughts into his mind. And he started to question himself. It's like, was her wish in that instance for her to die as a warrior? Or did she want to help being returned to her daughter, even though she looked like a monster? He had a battle with himself. And then he learned about Eden and the ability to wish and the wishes. And so he thought, oh, let me use that wish to erase the past, start over. He wants to resurrect Olivia's mother. And when he got that thought into his mind, he abandoned everything. And he just went, and that's why like he's at this state now. Yes, he was in it for the love of the game. But unfortunately, that one singular moment just made him go cuckoo. And, I was like, dang, they even gave Melea, this dude who was like, yo, I just want to be strong for the sake of being strong. He had a lot of depth to him. Unfortunately, like this is only as much as we can get out of him, and I'm a little sad about that. But we gotta have our big villains, and the villains gotta fall, because this is about the banished court magician becomes the strongest, not the blademaster Melea becomes the strongest, unfortunately. But now that he's abandoned everything, he now accepts death, and he calls out for Olivia to end his suffering, and Olivia avenge your mother. But before that, the other party, Lurog, Marbell, the guildmaster, they arrive on the scene, and Marbell hugs Olivia, and they have a little soft moment. And then Olivia speaks up. She decides to actually just bring Melea in, rather than avenge her mother. In that moment, Melea just smiles. You've grown, Olivia. I'm proud to call you my student. Aww. Of course, Melea can't have a happy ending. It's gonna have to be a bitter ending for him. And we get a little history. Well, not told history, but there's like a dialogue between the guildmaster and Melea. It seems to have like a bit of history between each other. Not so friendly, more like Melea probably crossed the guildmaster at some point. They probably, had a few battles in their history. But Melea's final words before he gets put in the coffin, he says, "Hey, yo, Alec, I wonder how you're gonna respond to learning the truth about your mother's death." Just making sure Alec knows, hey, this is what you should focus on next. But after that, we get our after the fight banter, a little bit of comedy. Everybody's feeling good. Everybody's patting each other on the back. But we got to figure out who gets the core. Who deserves to get the core for this dungeon? Last in period goes, yo, Laura, your group, you should get the core. You spent years clearing the dungeon. You should get it. Then Laura gets it. Then Laura goes, well, you guys beat the blademaster. You guys should get it. Tosses over to him. Yorha catches it. But a big bright light appears. It flashes and Yorha passes out. Then we get this sort of dream-like sequence. And then there's like a gold tree with some gold apples. And a voice speaks. Seeker, would you make a wish? Would you enter Eden and eat of its golden fruit? Then follow the steps, gather the cores, and come to Eden. I await the coming of heroes. And this sequence ends. Interesting. Okay, so this is Yorha's sort of call to being a seeker. But unfortunately, we don't get much else after that. But Yorha wakes up and she thinks, what was that? Must have been a dream or something. And she checks on Alec, who's like sleeping in a bed next to her. Of course, we gotta tease the little love relationship between Alec and Yorha. Yorha kind of goes up, try to kiss him on the cheek for everything, and then she gets scared by Ornus when he pops in. But unfortunately, Krasha was already in the room the entire whole time. Got caught in 4K easily. But after that comedy scene settles down, Yorha tells the others about the dream that she had of Eden. And as they discuss, Yorha asks, yo, can I see the core? Can I have it? They toss it to her, they give it to her, but nothing happens. The bright light doesn't happen again. And Alec kind of mentions like, yo, Shadow Guild, they'll be going after the cores and the Seeker. And Yorha has resolved, says, yo, I want to gather the cores because the Shadow Guild knows something and I don't understand everything that's going on. And Orange goes like, hey, yo, okay, party leader, let's go. We got a new quest. Let's figure this out. After that, we get to training with Olivia, or try to train with Olivia, or try to get her to train Alec because he can't use magic for a while after he's limit break. And so they talk with Olivia and discuss about training, the Shadow Guild, and gathering cores. And Olivia asks, yo, Yorha, you got any siblings? Because you're a Seeker, so it's highly likely that your family has some kind of, Seeker descendants or whatnot. Yorha just, I don't know, might have a brother, might have a sister. My family situation is kind of complicated. And Olivia goes like, when I was hunting down Melea and I learned about the Shadow Guild, I overheard this name constantly called Guran Eisen, which is, Eisen is also Yorha's last name. So this Guran guy and Yorha could be related. Who knows? And Olivia believes that he's, certainly involved in Yorha's kidnapping. Then Alec goes, yo, I'm gonna become the strongest. Title drop and everything. Woo, 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 woo. And so our last little bit is that we need to get more experience fighting people, not just monsters. Because if they're going after the Shadow Guild, they'll be going against, people like the Blood guy and Demon Summoners and other things. And the guild attendant has, I got an idea. At a town called Red Rogue, they hold a flame festival. They hold the Flame Night Festival every 3 years. And the main event is a big nationwide martial arts tournament. And the prize? It's a dungeon core. So hey, everything lines up. We got our new objective. We're going to be getting all the dungeon cores that we can so we can go to Eden. There's the Shadow Guild who has a guy that is related to Yorha. We got to figure that out. While also Alec's whole little side/main thing is got to figure out, hey, what happened to his mom? Her death, by the way. And also kind of find Eldest where he is. And that is it. That is the full season of the Banished Court Magician Aims to Become the Strongest. And like I said, unfortunately, there wasn't like a huge fight scene at the end. It was nice to get a lot of dialogue and all the explanation for what's going on, or what has gone on, and giving me hope for something else in the future. And I just wish there was more, to be honest. I really could go for another 12 episodes to see what's on. But hey, I hope they get a second season because I really like this. It's nice, it's chill. Sure, there's not like anything deep going on as far as like making your brain think, but it's fantasy, it's adventure, it's nice, it's having fun. There's like small little arcs that this whole entire anime went on, and I'm a little sad that the prince didn't get any more. I hope if we get season 2, the prince comes back and he gets into that martial arts tournament. I want to see the prince again. I really think his character deserves like another shot, not another shot, but more time in the limelight. I want to see the prince evolve from his current state, what he was before. That's cool. And I'm excited to see some other things happen. Also, there's one other thing that I would really like for this anime to do is to visit lasting periods past, because it feels like this season, while this is like the first season of the anime, it feels like it's season 2. And the reason why I say that is because there's a lot that Alec, Yorha, Krasha, and Ornis went through in the academy that we only get snippets of. Like, we don't know how they were as kids at the academy. We get snippets, but we don't get like full explanations. We don't even get like full explanations of the headmaster or the head teacher that always like chide them for what they did. Yeah, we know that they're the greatest and like they beat the Hydra, but actually I want to see the Hydra fight. I want to see them go through the academy. I want to see all the interconnected plot points there. I want to see their dynamic before they met each other, while and the first times that they met each other and like be in the party. Like that is also interesting to me. So that's why I feel like if we get a next season, I would like there to be a couple of episodes to where we revisit the past. If not, oh well. But you know, season 2 martial arts tournament, let's go for the arc. Now that they do a movie, I would like that movie to be of them as kids in the past at the academy. That would be really cool, because then we get some very beautiful animations of Alec doing things. We can see him cast Limit Break for the first time. It'd be really cool. But that's just what I think. As far as a tentative rating is concerned, I'm looking at a 7 out of 10. Really enjoy this, and I want to do a overall recommendation video at some point after this happens, so I get my final full thoughts and a proper final rating, and recommending whether or not you should watch the anime or not, if you haven't seen it or not, that sort of things. But let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Have you enjoyed the journey so far? Do you want more of the journey? Would you like more of seeing Alec and friends in the past? Or what would you like to see more into the future of the anime if we do get a second season? With nothing else being said, I hope you all have a good day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. And I hope your day is just a little bit better than it already is. With that, we'll catch y'all in the next anime episode. Peace.